Top 10 Lies Told About Africa. To enslave a group of people, you must treat them of any meaningful identity and value their humanity, which has traditionally been the case with individuals of African heritage. The lies told by European and Arab writers include views about how Africans have made no contributions to world culture and have no forms of legitimate civilization. Fortunately for Africans, experts are now beginning to reveal the distortions and place events in their correct historical context. The idea that Africans were backward savages with no civilization became one of the most common myths claimed about them, and the Dark Continent cliché became one of the most popular lies spoken about them, except for Egypt, which they continuously exclude from the category of African cultural achievements. Here are the 10 lies talked about in Africa. 1. Africa has no civilizations. When Africa is mentioned in popular culture, it is frequently in the context of slavery, animals, or malnourished children. Africa had many kingdoms, enormous empires, and cities that could stand on their own, and Africa had some of the first recognized civilizations on the planet. Many people mistakenly believed that Africa was primitive long before the arrival of European colonists. They believed the myth that it was a land empty of cities, empires, communists, and civilization, on the other hand, could not be further from the truth. Pre-colonial Africa has a rich additive history of gorgeous and immensely wealthy and developed empires and kingdoms. 2. Egypt is the oldest civilization in Africa. Artifacts from ancient Libya in Africa have revealed evidence of the first recognized monarchy in human history, which predates the ancients of the early Egyptian kings by many generations. Until today, it was considered that the ancient Nubian culture, which flourished in what is now northern Sudan and southern Egypt, was little more than a mix of tribal tribes and chiefdoms at the time. The presence of the king suggests a more evolved form of the political structure, in which several chiefdoms are consolidated under a more powerful and wealthy ruler. The finding is anticipated to prompt a fresh look at Africa's foundations of civilization, raising a question of how much later Egyptian culture owes to the Nubians in terms of advanced governmental structure. The meaning symbols of Nubian royalty discovered are the same as those linked with Egyptian kings in later periods. According to the new results, the ancient Nubians may have reached this stage of political development as early as 3300 BC, several generations before the first Egyptian pharaoh. 3. Africa is a dark continent. The most typical response to the question of why was Africa nicknamed the Dark Continent is that Europe did not know much about Africa until the 19th century. However, this response is both false and deceptive. For at least 2000 years, Europeans had known a lot about Africa, but due to great imperial inclinations, European leaders began purposely neglecting all the sources of information. Simultaneously, the fight against slavery and missionary activity in Africa exacerbated Europeans' racial attitude towards Africans in the 1800s. Because of the mystery and barbarianism they expected to discover in the interior dealing, they renamed Africa the Dark Continent. 4. All Africans lived in mud huts. One of the most popular misconceptions is that all Africans live in grass-thatched houses made of mud and dung. The architecture of Africa, like other parts of African culture, is extremely diverse. Africans have developed their distinct architectural traditions throughout the continent's history, although mud huts are one of the most popular forms of housing in rural areas across Africa. It would be unfair to ignore the continent's quickly rising cities and metropolitan centers, which include cutting-edge architecture. A quick Google search of any city or village on the continent will reveal prominent skyscrapers and enhance the scenery. 5. Africa has no writing. Because of the importance of oral culture and tradition in Africa, as well as colonialism's recent dominance of European languages, many people believe that African languages are either unwritten or have only recently been written down. Africa, on the other hand, possesses the world's oldest and most diverse collection of ancient writing systems. The evidence extends back to prehistoric times and can be found across the continent in various locations. Greek, on the other hand, was not widely used until around 1400 BC and is widely derived from an old African script. Thanks for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thanks.